Go Broncos!
Bronco Nation, meet your next head coach. Brian Harsin introduces the new face of the football program this morning. Of course, that new face is a familiar one. Harsin was a member of the Boise State coaching staff for 10 seasons. He was Chris Peterson's hotshot offensive coordinator and a mentor to the winningest quarterback in college football history. And now, after brief stints at Texas and Arkansas State, the Capital High School graduate is back in blue, achieving a lifelong goal to lead his hometown program. The 37-year-old's dream came true sooner than expected, thanks to Peterson's departure to Oregon last week. Harsin said he found out Pete was leaving on Twitter, and it took exactly 1 millisecond to realize what that might mean for him.
You kind of start to think about, home. You think about Boise State. You think about all the things that we were able to accomplish here and the opportunity. And those things hit you right then and there, and that's exactly what happened. And I was hoping for an offer to at least come out here and have a chance to be a part of this, and that's all I was asking for.
Harsin said the reason he left Boise State was to grow as a coach and a man in hopes that one day he'd be able to come back. I asked Brian about his reaction as soon as he found out he'd been hired.
When I got off the phone with Mark, I took about 5 minutes just to kind of sit there and think about what it meant. The reason why Kess and I left has come true.
Brian said his next thought was it's time to get to work. He met with the Broncos this morning and will be actively involved in recruiting as soon as possible. Harsin also had a message for Bronco Nation.
I'm excited to represent this program in the very best way I can, and I'll make sure that it continues to grow and it continues to develop. And like I said, we're not going to rest on our past successes. We're going to attack the future.
Here's a look at Harsin's future. His contract, 5 years, $6.5 million. It's backloaded a little bit, in part to defer the cost of Harsin's $1.75 million buyout from Arkansas State. Athletic Director Mark Coyle said he didn't want that buyout to prevent him from hiring the best candidate.
Obviously, I'm very close to Mitch Barnhart at Kentucky, and Mitch gave me a great lesson. He said, focus on your process and find the best fit for your program, then you worry about the finances. And obviously, you've got to be very cognizant of the finances, but that's what we did. We focused on the process, we found the best fit, and then we worried about the finances.
Coyle said he interviewed 6 candidates for the job. Besides Harsin, Coyle spoke to current staff members Bob Gregory and Chris Strasser, former defensive coordinator Justin Wilcox, former head coach Dirk Cutter, and Oregon OC Scott Frost. But when all was said and done, one candidate stood out amongst the rest.
I think what set Brian apart in my mind, and when I visited with Dr. Custer about it, was I felt very comfortable that he just went through this process at Arkansas State where he had to replace a legend coach in Gus Malzone, and I really liked when he talked about that 4th and 1 and sense of urgency, and he embraced that, which I really appreciated.